welcome to the channel. Please do hit that subscribe button and leave some love on my magical corner of the universe, which is my magical cyber world. Do take a good look around. There is lots of stuff for you to see here. Lots of other videos. If witchcraft and spirituality are your go-to subjects, then you will love the channel and you'll love the content that I have created and will be creating, because I've got lots more ideas for new content. A guy just has to find the time. Anyhow, let's get right into it. This is my grimoire. So this here is the first 2 pages of my grimoire. So I decided to have made some junk journal envelopes. I absolutely love this marble effect wallpaper here, which I put on top of the envelopes. I've slotted in Ascended Masters and Deities, so I've got Hecate on the left over here at the top, and we have Merlin at the right at the top as well. We have Jesus. So although I don't go out of my way to work with Jesus so much anymore, but he was a big part of my past. I was brought up Christian and he's got nothing but love, really. It's his followers who seem to have a problem with the rest of the world. So yeah. Underneath we have Archangel Michael. And over here we have the Lyran Mage. I found this picture on Pinterest. I absolutely love it. How fierce is that, y'all? Fierce, fierce, fierce! Lyran Starseed Energy. And then underneath we have Apollo. And underneath here we have a depiction of Hecate. So if you've seen my videos on Hecate, you'll have seen similar depictions before. And then next to it we have a photo of Kali, or Kali Ma. Okay. So that's the first part. Behind it so with it being envelope journal. Ooh, that doesn't want to move. Ugh. Oh, have I stuck that on? I think I stuck another envelope in there, which I forgot about. So I could slot more things in there. So inside that envelope, I've put a ritual for communion. So I might talk about that in another video. It was a gift from a mentor of mine, Joe Clark, who taught me loads of stuff about witchcraft and mediumship, or mediumistic abilities, using clairvoyance and clairaudience. So I have a lot to thank Joe for. And to be fair, a lot of my fans on here have a lot to thank her for, because she really fed my imagination when I first was getting caught into all of this magical world. So next we have the page with Horus over here. We have a cutout from Temmie and the Flying Bears. So that was a book that I read when I was a kid. So it was really crazy when I was a kid. I liked photocopying the books that I'd read for some strange reason when I was in infant school, or primary school as we call it over here. So yeah, I did that. So I still had the paper around, because I'm a tiniest bit of a hoarder. So I had the photo cutout, or not the cutout, I had the photocopy which I'd taken of the book, so I've cut that on out and stuck that on there. I also stuck a lion here, which I got from a little postcard which someone had sent me from South Africa. I also have a little cat, beautiful cat picture over here. I'm not sure how well you can see it, but it's got like an Egyptian cat, and then it's got a beautiful black cat sat next to it. Speaking of black cats, my black cat's right next to me, but she's playing hide and seek. And then over here we have the Lion Mage image again, and we also have the Star Seed, so more Lyran energy here in a little pocket. For some reason it reminds me of like Mufasa and Scar fused together, that picture. If you're a fan of The Lion King, you'll know what I mean. If you don't, then you won't. So over here we have another picture of Hecate, because she's my patron goddess. So that's stuck up here next to the book Blessing. So I've written the book Blessing spell in here. So I put that in all of my Book of Shadows. So now it's in the Grimoire as well. I've written a, what do we call this? A light code. It's a portal of energy which I've opened within the book, and inside it there is a universal hexagram. So this basically is the goddess and god in union, and when the goddess and god are in union, they bring the ether into the material world. So basically when you work magic, you ask the goddess to bring the magical energy to you from the ether, and the god, in whichever aspect we're calling him upon him, he works to manifest it as well. So it's the universal hexagram is a depiction of this, of the goddess and god working together to work magic upon the universe. So here we have a 3D image, or it's a magical photo, magic eye image. So basically if you meditate upon it, then you see an image in there. So I also have this which folds out. So there's a little bit here that I want, there's a beautiful cowrie shell on there. So that's a little thing that slots out of the envelope, and it slots back in. Oh, I didn't slot it back in then. So it slots back in. So I've yet to write on all of these. And then there's the beautiful cat here which folds out. I had that picture on the wall some years ago, but for some reason the frame broke. But for some reason I kept the, whatever you call this, the canvas of the beautiful image. I kept it even though it had came off of the frame. So now I've put it into the grimoire because it was perfect. So here there is some space. There's some envelopes and some paper and card which I've glued onto here. So this is space, extra space for me to write on because it's an extra page. Over here we have a beautiful holographic picture of a kitty and a raven. So that is that paper clipped rather onto there. Next to it we have the medicine wheel and the wheel of the year. So this has the 8 witches sabbats on there. So the greater sabbats, the lesser sabbats. So the greater sabbats are the 4 big ones. The lesser sabbats are the 4 smaller ones. So the equinoxes and the solstices are the lesser sabbats. And we have Imulk, Sewing, Beltane and Lunasa as the 4 major Sabbats. So that's on that page. On the next page I have an envelope here. I've popped a picture of me and my sister in there so I can tie some of my family's magic into the book. Because after all, this grimoire is my creation, which I want to go to my family after I'm not here anymore. After I've gone to the Summerland, as we witches say. So there is the photo of my family, me and my sister. So I am going to be adding other photos into the book, because it's not that I just love my sister and I don't love the rest of the family. Of course I do, but it's just me and my sister are the most magical ones. So I've started with us. So next to it there's a little quote here from Terry Pratchett. A witch ought to never be frightened in the darkest forest, because she should be sure in her soul that the most terrifying thing in the forest was her. So I really liked that, and I've paired that with a picture of Medusa here, which I found on Pinterest as well. So yeah, I am kind of crazy for Pinterest. Next to it I've got a envelope. So it came with a beautiful card, which I actually gifted to someone else, and I kept the envelope because I'm crazy that way. So that I've cut the top of the envelope so I can slot things inside if I want to. I've not put anything in there yet. I've also got another cutout of another photocopy of a book that I read as a kid, Salem's Tales, this one is. It also is a beautiful black cat, so if you know me, then you know I love black cats. I have a spare tarot card in here, so it's from the Lester Crowley deck. So you get 2 Magus cards. So you get to choose one, so I've kept this one in the book, and the other one is with the deck. I actually gave that deck to my sister recently. And here is a peacock feather, so that's that page, or them pages. Next I've got the moon phases, so this is all about the movement of the moon and tapping into the different magic of each moon phase. So there's waxing moon, waning moon, new moon, dark moon, etc, etc. So everyone knows that on the full moon, that is the time that everyone, even non-witches, know that the full moon is quite magical, because the moon itself looks magical when it's full. Also widely known that when it's the full moon, everybody goes crazy. That's where the phrase lunatics comes from, because when it's the full moon, people go crazy, or at least people use it as an excuse for being crazy. On the new moon, it's a good time for starting new projects, setting your intentions, planting magical seeds, etc. On the dark moon, it's a good time for shadow work, reflection, divination, that sort of thing. So I've written all of this into the book here. So this is the moon magic section. So I've wrote about each moon phase and what they're best used for. I've wrote about drawing down the moon here, so this is a full moon ritual. And then next to it I have drawing down the dark moon, so that's another ritual, this time to the goddess in her dark guise. And then next to it I have a fold out page. So as you can see, there is a winged Sekhmet, which I begged someone to draw in here for me. I begged my cousin Curtis, because he's quite good at drawing. So I have the winged Sekhmet in here. I glued this beautiful picture of an Egyptian looking cat in there, and I added a papyrus page onto there so that I can write something magical upon there as well. And then next pages I have the prayer to Sekhmet. So if you've watched my video on chants and spells, then you will have heard at least one, maybe both of these prayers in there. So the first one's the prayer to Sekhmet, the second one is the Sekhmet's mantle. So, O Sekhmet, source of strength and mercy, lady of the burning sands, Sekhmet, mistress of terror, may no enemy find me, may no harm approach me, your sacred fire surrounds me, no evil can withstand your eye. So that is how it goes. And then next I have more envelopes. So I've stuck these envelopes into here. I've got some nature paper over here, which I had fun with. So I've got some keys burned onto there with the sunlight. So the keys, if you're not aware, the keys are a motif which are sacred to the goddess Hecate, because she is the one who holds the key to the sacred mysteries, the ancient mysteries. She holds the key to the ether, to the underworld, etc., etc. She holds all of the keys. And then there is an image of the cat there as well. So this folds out like this. So this is more space for me to write on. Then there is a envelope on here which I've glued in. There's a big envelope here which I've glued in. So I want to put a picture of my cat in here, possibly. I just need to find a good picture to pop in. Then here I've got some papyrus, or not papyrus, it's parchment looking papers, but it's really big envelopes that I've tea stained, and I've stuck a bit of the wallpaper that I liked on, the marble looking one, so I've stuck that on there. So I'm gonna write on all of this soon. So there's a lot of empty pages at the moment, even in this first section that I've been working on. So I'm gonna write a bit about calling the watchtowers here, so each of the invocations to each of the 4 quarters, and possibly the lords of each quarter. So I'm going to write that in there. And then the last page I've written on is calling the magical circle, so I'm going to write that on there. So that is what I've been working on so far. So I hope you enjoyed my little walkthrough of what I've been working on so far. So as you can see, it's a very humble beginning, but there is quite some cool stuff in there. And also, as if you've not noticed, I have a beautiful Black Cat bookmark, which my youngest sister made for me, Kendra. So thank you, Kenny. And there is a couple of bookmarks on here. So I made these bookmarks. I had some charms on here which my mum gave me, because my mum has an uncanny gift for finding pretty cool stuff. So she found this cat here, this wooden cat head thingy, and also this sword thingy. So it's like a sword charm. So I've stuck them on there. So they're my bookmarks so far. So that is the first look at my grimoire. So I hope you liked that. If you've got any questions, if you've got any ideas for me, then please do let me hear them and I will get back to you. So thank you for tuning in. Tune in next time for my next video. So the next video I do, I'm thinking about creating a video on some channeling, because I want to start doing a lot more channeling. I'll be putting stuff about channeling in the grimoire. I want to put some card layouts as well into the grimoire. I want to write about Atlantis, the starseed races. There's a lot more stuff that I want to put into this grimoire. So stick around and I will reveal it to you. So thank you. Brightest blessings and namaste. And look who's showing her face. Come on then, say hi. Say hi. Mwah. Lulu says hi. Little booger. Little boo boo.